It's a good question, James. A lot of us are wondering about Richaun Holmes. We love him, we love his family, and it just seems like he forgot how to play basketball over the course of a year. Not that long ago, in fact, last season, he was a great centerpiece, part of the centerpiece, and somebody that was extended into a nice economical contract. Obviously, something's going on. He had some off-court things last year, which it appears he's overcome this year. Also had some injuries, but that doesn't seem to be the problem this year. I don't know why. I don't think he and Sabonis can play together. I think they occupy the same space, but I don't know why when Sabonis is on the bench, Richaun can't come in, be the 5 off the bench, and if he could play anywhere near the way he played 2 years ago, it's one of the best bench bigs you've got in the entire NBA. Something tells me it's more than just basketball. There's something deeply wrong with the Richaun Holmes situation, and I think the success of the Kings has kind of covered that up a little bit. But I expect that to be solved here one way or the other in the next couple months.
Fair, probably, but if it's not broken, you don't have to fix it, I guess would be the standard answer. The Kings are doing well, and here's why it's so great for Keegan. Because the Kings are doing well, they don't need him to be great. They want him to be. They want him to be a nice complementary piece to what the team is doing. Still, in the end, if Keegan struggles, Coach Brown will go to Terrence Davis, Malik Monk, the bench that's been so lethal. So the Kings are in a much better spot, and I think it's also a good spot for Keegan. He doesn't have to save this team, doesn't have to save the franchise. They want him to be a big piece and a key piece. But I'd leave it just as it is, and he'll figure this out.
I think De'Aaron, actually, if you go back to last year, De'Aaron came out of the box and stunk, and he'd be the first to tell you that. This is a fantastic start for him. It's the best start of his career. Is it sustainable? I don't know, and that's a cop-out answer. What I will say is he's never had a team this good around him. He's never had a big this good with him, and Domantas Sabonis really unlocks De'Aaron Fox. Takes some of the ball handling out of his hands, but not in a negative way, not in the way that he and Tyrese couldn't function. It allows them to have 2 primary ball handlers, and Sabonis really clears up a lot down low for De'Aaron. When you look at Fox's free throw percentage, and when you look at his three-point percentage, at least now 20 games in when we're recording this, it's the best it's ever been. So I don't see why it's not sustainable. Really, my big worry for De'Aaron, because of his style of play, is just simply injuries. It's injuries with him staying not so banged up. He's always going to have little nicks here and there, but if he can stay relatively healthy, and same thing with the Kings, they've been the healthiest team in the NBA by far through 20 games. If they can keep that up, and if De'Aaron can keep that up, I see no reason why he can't put up these numbers all year long.
Probably Cleveland is what I'll stick with for now. The greatest thing is the best one's still to come. They're ahead. I think the way this season is going, they've had a lot of close calls against good teams that would have really elevated it, certainly if they'd won in Boston or if they had beaten Phoenix. But the Cleveland win, I think, really helped get things started, a quality opponent. And not only that, it was also the fact that I think there were some matchups that were not advantageous to the Kings, and they handled that. It was a much smaller team than the Cavs, so to play in another team's kind of wheelhouse and the Kings still won, to me, I think the Cleveland game has been their most impressive team win based on quality of opponent. But I mean, the emotional win against the Pacers was great, and then certainly national TV throttling the Nets, awesome. But as far as quality and opponent and maybe advantages or disadvantages for the Kings, it's the Cavs for me.